Okay guys, the second thing we're going to do is double distribute, or sometimes we call it FOIL. FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last. And that's just telling us we have to multiply 4 times because we're doing a 2 by 2, which is a binomial times a binomial, so we're really multiplying 2 by 2 is 4, so we're going to be doing 4 things here. So we have our first terms, which is our x times our x, and that gives us x squared. And then I have to use this x again, because I'm going to distribute the x through, so I'm doing x times the 8 over here. And that gives me a, this is my outside term, this gives me a positive 8x. Alright, then I'll go to my inside terms. So really I'm done with this x, I've already distributed that x through. I still have to distribute my 2 through, so I have 2 times x, which is a positive 2x. Okay, and then the last terms, my last terms are my positive 2 and my positive 8, and that is a positive 16. And then we notice that I have a positive 8x and a positive 2x. We can combine those two together, and that gives me a positive 10x. So my final answer, I'll bring down my x squared, and I can bring down my 16. So my final answer is x squared plus 10x plus 16. So FOIL, binomial times binomial, will most likely result in a trinomial.
Alright, I'm going to show you a different way to do this. You can use the FOIL technique, and I would recommend that, but there's also, if you remember back when you were in 7th grade, remember those Punnett Squares that you used for like alleles for genetics? So like what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a nice little 4-squared box. I'm going to put my first term, or my first binomial, my x minus 3, right here. I'm going to put an x here, and then a negative 3 there. On my vertical side, I'm going to put my other binomial. I'm going to put my x that I got from here, and I'm going to put my negative 2 underneath it. And now I'm just going to fill out my box. So what is an x times x? What's x times x? That's going to give me my x squared. And then what's x times a negative 3? I'm going to put that in this square. That'll give me my negative 3x. I can do my x times negative 2 and put that in this square and have that be a negative 2x. And then finally what's left over is my negative 2 times my negative 3, which will give me a positive 6. And now if you notice, how many x's do I have? I have a negative 2x here and a negative 3x there. So when I rewrite it, I always start with my x squared. I combine my like terms, which would give me a negative 5x, and then I bring down my positive 6. So that's just another way that you could do it if you wanted to use that squaring technique.
And either way is fine. If you want to use FOIL, also known as double distribute, or you can use the square box method, completely fine. Either way you choose. You can try them both here, and we don't care which way you do it as long as you get the right answer. Okay, so I'm going to skip down to number 15. This video is getting kind of long here. So actually, we won't even do that. We'll do 17. We'll do 17 and 18 together right now. Number 17, we have x plus 3 being squared. And remember what squared means, we have to multiply x plus 3 times itself. So the first step here, we want to see you write that down. The x plus 3 times x plus 3. That way you're not getting confused, trying to do things in your head. Now we know we have to double distribute here and multiply 4 times. So my x times x, x squared, x times that positive 3 is a positive 3x. Positive 3 times this x is another positive 3x. And then a 3 times 3 is a 9. And I can combine those 3 x's here, which is a positive 6x. So it gives us an x squared plus a 6x plus that 9.
I like how you used Mets colors there.
Awesome.
That's
fantastic.
You did that deliberately.
Go Mets.
All right, guys. Same deal for number 18. So I'm going to rewrite my equation so it's x minus 4 times x minus 4. And I can show you that box technique one more time. All right, let me just move this over to the side. Finish that. All right, so here's my box. I got my 4 square box, I'm going to put my x minus 4 up top here, my x and my negative 4 there. X times x is x squared. X times a negative 4 is negative 4x. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 16. And if you notice, I can combine my like terms, which is my x. And to finish this up, all right, I'm going to have my 3 terms, which will be x squared. That's where I got that one. This would be my negative 8x. And then finally last would be my plus 16. And that's just another way to multiply two binomials.
Looks good. So make sure you have these notes filled in for tomorrow's class, and we're going to do lots of practice over the next few days to get really, really, really good at this.